If Drake got 1 million haters, I am one of them. If Drake got one hater, I am the one.
As an official Drake hater, I just want you guys to know that once these songs drop on the 14th, I don't want to hear that, oh my God, Drake is back shit. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear the melodies. We want to hear the Valentine's song. So for all y'all creators that's coming on here like, yes, we can't wait for a Drake summer. We can't wait for a Drake singing summer. Singing summer. R&B summer.
But when people are dogpiling on Drake, it brings a sweetness to my body.
In real life, you shouldn't stand by Drake. You should stand by Kendrick and enjoy Drake.
Yo, what's good, family? Welcome back to Pop Pulse, the home of music drama, hot takes, and straight vibes. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell, because you do not want to miss what's coming next. Today, we're diving into something wild. We've put together the ultimate Everybody That Don't Like Drake compilation. Yeah, every artist, every hater, every subtle jab, all in one place. If you thought Drake was universally loved, think again. Enough talk, let's get straight into the smoke. Roll the clips.
In 2016, an article was published on BuzzFeed titled, "Drake Belongs to Black Women," highlighting the Drake we once knew who publicly adored Black women. That Drake is no longer in the room with us. I remember reading that article almost 10 years ago and thinking to myself, oh yeah, I agree with some of these points. Hopefully this doesn't age poorly. I am a former Drake fan. This is my journey into becoming a certified Drake hater.
If Drake got 1 million haters, I am one of them. If Drake got one hater, I am the one.
And on one of these episodes of Degrassi Unscripted, as it was called, we got to know Aubrey Graham. It was then that I learned that Aubrey Graham wasn't just an actor. No, he was actually an aspiring musician.
Yo, boss ain't golden gates. Those who fake, they break. When they meet their 400-pound weight, you gotta rule the world.
Drake's story has always been one of defiance, a Canadian kid who broke every rule to dominate America's most competitive genre. He turned vulnerability into anthems, made melodies the new standard, and became the face of global hip-hop. But success comes with a price. The bigger he got, the bigger the shadow he cast. And that shadow has been fueling a backlash that's now impossible to ignore.
Drake is a weird one because I thought we were trying to get the party lit. Why are we still beefing with people? You can't pull off the gangster gun aesthetic if you have an open case on defamation because somebody called you a pedophile, bro.
Do you see this roster of people behind me? That is a lot of people, and I don't even think I got everybody. But this is a list of people that Drake was sneak dissing, and Drake just don't like them, and then they find out, and now they don't like Drake. But Drake started 97% of this. And I don't know if I got them in order or not, but let's start with Ludacris. Drake didn't like Ludacris because Ludacris smashed the girl back in his hometown that Drake liked, but Ludacris didn't know that Drake liked the girl and something like that. I don't know. He didn't like Common because Common used to date Serena, and then Drake started dating Serena. Pusha T and Drake been beefing since the beginning of time, but Pusha T don't like Birdman, and somehow Drake got roped into that, and I don't know how. Drake don't like Shia LaBeouf, and Shia LaBeouf don't like Drake, but Drake don't like Shia LaBeouf because he actually dated Rihanna for a little bit. Jay-Z don't like Drake because Drake said him and Lil Wayne was finna put out the best collab album of all time, but that's when Kanye West and Jay-Z was working on Watch the Throne, which is the best collab rap album of all time. I don't know why Drake and Chris Brown was beefing, but Chris Brown threw a bottle at Drake in the club and he tussled with him. Drake sneaked this Tiger on one of his songs. Drake said, "You need to act your age and not your girl age." Did you really just say that, Drake? Okay. Meek Mills, this was kind of his fault, but he was like, Drake got ghostwriters, and Drake like, I don't got no ghostwriters, and then he just started making diss songs about Meek Mills. Drake don't like Joe Budden because Joe Budden said Drake not a good rapper on his podcast, and Drake was like, you just a podcaster, you haven't had a good hit since Pump It Up. Drake and Kanye don't like each other because Drake think that Kanye West told Pusha T that he got a son. You already know why Drake don't like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. Drake sneaked this Tory Lanez on one of his songs saying you'll be nothing but a Daystar, and that's Tory Lanez' real name is Daystar because Tory Lanez was up and coming out of Canada. On Drake's Certified Lover Boy album, he called Alexis, aka Serena Williams' husband, a groupie on one of his songs. Like, what the fuck? Metro and Drake beefing is one of the most random things ever. I don't even know what happened. What is that story? And Kendrick Lamar straight up don't like Drake, just like I haven't been liking Drake for years. But I'm pretty sure there's more. But you look at this roster, maybe Drake is the problem.
There are a lot of people out there that really do not like Drake, bro. I've seen it now. A lot of people don't like Drake. And I think it's bigger than like what you said, just being at the top of rap. I think it's what he represents, being a Canadian from a middle class family. So Canada is not really known as the hip hop capital, is it? They're known as outsiders Canadians. Like, just forget, even take music away. Just in America, where hip hop is from, Americans don't really rate Canadians like that. No. Do you get what I'm saying? They see them as like the little adopted brother or someone. Like, they don't really rate them like that, right? But then you've got someone that's from Canada, and it isn't even from the hood in Canada, like Tory Lanez is, from middle class, that has come over here and has dominated for this long, bro. Dominated for this long. And has aligned himself with so many people within America. People in New York, whether it's Dipset or whoever it happens to be. Loads of artists from Atlanta, artists on the West Coast like YG in The Game. He's just associated himself with so many people, and we can get to the UK part of it, because I've seen that been cropping up as well. People don't like that.
Okay, I am saying this from the standpoint of a Drake hater, and I want that to be very clear. So you can be like, oh yeah, you're hating, and you're just stating facts. I don't really care.
For the people saying, oh, y'all are just Drake haters, you know, the song is good. The song is trash, and I've been a dedicated Drake hater since 2015. I'm not going to stop now. I didn't like Drake when everybody was cool with Drake and was giving him passes for all the L's that he took for about 9 years. Let's rewind the clocks back.
Mos Def was right about Drake. DMX was right about Drake.
What about Drake? You like Drake?
No. My man.
He didn't even say a little bit. He didn't even say halfway.
That's my guy right there. No. That's why X is necessary in the game right there.
Okay. Now, why don't you like Drake?
I don't like anything about Drake. I don't like his voice. I don't like what he talks about. I don't.
See, I be trying to tell his face.
I don't like the way he walks. Like nothing. I don't like his haircut. I might just let me shut up. I'll just stop.
Des and Anthony were right about Drake. We told you like 5 years ago that Drake was a Canadian actor playing an American rapper, that he was not for the culture or rap or any of that, and that he was a performer. He was fast food for your brain. I think I even called him like the Selena Gomez of rap.
Drake is chart obsessed. So he's going to continue to put out songs, so many songs every year, a project every year, 2 projects every year, because he wants to remain on the charts. That's all he really cares about at this point. It's clearly quantity over quality. And it's been that way with him since like 2016, 2017. So instead of taking a break like Tyler the Creator does, or like Frank Ocean, or like Playboi Carti, or any other artist, Kendrick, like Cole, he doesn't take breaks, right? Because he wants to be on the charts. He is chart and number obsessed. That is why he's suing. That is what this lawsuit is about. He's upset because of the numbers on the chart that Kendrick was putting up. He didn't like that.
Drake coming to the UK doing Wireless. First of all, I made a video talking about how standing UK R&B artists is so hard because it feels like you're being a beg. And obviously I said that in a comedic tone. I truly 100% understand why a lot of UK artists are going abroad. There's no infrastructure in the music industry in the UK to really support people, and that is why Drake is able to come here, a Canadian biracial, say, you know, I think there's no one better in the world. I think there's no one better in the world.
If Drake has 0 haters, I have left this earth. But I will do my due diligence from beyond the grave. I usually stay out of men's business. I simply do not care for it, right? I have my own things going on. But when people are dogpiling on Drake, it brings a sweetness to my body, okay? I actually feel like the sun came out so that we can shine our hatred on Drake. And truthfully, I don't care how many charts he tops or how many club bangers he makes. There is something so sinister, so weird, so predatory about that man's nature.
Drake is not hip-hop. Oh. All circles back to Drake not being hip-hop. He's not a hip-hop artist. You're not about to sit here and tell me he's hip-hop. Because hip-hop is culture. It's not just about bars. Hip-hop is part of a culture. And when you enter into that culture, guess what? You're playing by the rules of that culture.
This is true.
The essence of hip-hop.
There
is no
anything
rules.
outside of that is disrespectful.
That's what I'm saying. There's
You're
yo,
yeah,
I can't go into
That's a really good point.
I can't go into an anime community and disrespect the rules of the table of the people that came before me in the anime
It's like going
community.
to a Christian church and disrespecting Jesus. It's like, what are you doing? That's what we're here for. He is the guy.
Hip-hop has always been no rules. That's always been no rules.
Yeah, when it comes to the pen on paper, there's no rules.
There's no rules.
Not
It's
your
always
mother,
been
not
created.
your father, not your friend that just got shot. We don't give a fuck. We're gonna talk about that.
It came out of the black liberation struggle. Well, all music in general came out of pain of black people for the most part. You talk about blues, talk about R&B, talk about rock and roll, talk about all popular parts of music came out of the pain and the struggles of the black community.
He doesn't operate like a man of culture. The last big song he had was him taking a piss out of culture. The last song that he had that had super replay value, and I mean super replay value where it was just going crazy, was God's Plan. Yeah. And God's Plan was him in a music video using the budget to go and help out the hood after he just got killed by Pusha T. That's what R. Kelly used to do when you used to kill him about something. You'd put out a song to I'm that star up in the sky, like happy people. What? That's what you're trying to do. You're manipulating people. That's who you want to stand by. In real life, you shouldn't stand by Drake. You should stand by Kendrick and enjoy Drake.
Yeah.
You shouldn't stand by Drake. And it doesn't make sense. Like, that nigga will a girl. He will take your music and say it's his. He will do so much stuff to the people closest to him.
Drake and Kendrick have the same distribution company, not label. That's what y'all are getting twisted. Their label people is still battling their label people. So if their label people are strategists and say, oh, we're gonna beat Drake this time, we're gonna drop the percentage down 30%. That don't mean Lucian has something to do with that. That don't mean nothing. This is my label. And I said before, I said, we're gonna find out who's stronger. I said this to y'all.
Yeah.
I said, is it gonna be Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, or is it gonna be Drizzy and them? I told y'all this.
This is months ago.
Months ago. I said, it all depends. I said, we're gonna find out who's stronger. Number three, Kendrick beat him at his own game.
Yeah, he did.
Kendrick, see, what niggas was doing with Drake was, this is the old battles. The old battles was, I'm gonna spit at you, I'm gonna try to do this, I'm gonna try to do this. You know what Drizzy did to Meek Mill? He made a sonically good diss record.
Bro, you've been bigger than everybody.
Right.
You came in with Wayne and shit on that nigga. Got bigger than him and never looked back. That's why he didn't say nothing. Got big as left Cash Money. That's why they didn't say nothing. You was baby mamas. That's why they didn't say nothing. You was doing all this shady shit behind people's back. And start finally caught up and they did, and you didn't say nothing. And guess what? They was smart. We can't argue with you because they're gonna say it's beat him. Drake, so what? Be bigger than him. Fuck his bitch. Beat him.
What you gonna tell him?
So guess what? The nigga did? Who can beat this? You. You know that's what it came down. It's like you mad at DeMar DeRozan, man. You know how much DeMar DeRozan has done for the Raptors? Now you're so big in Toronto that we can't even like a nigga that helped us all these years because you matter that much. Get your ass down.
Joe Budden got Drake out of here way before Kendrick and Pusha T with 4 diss tracks, and everybody just made the excuse that Joe was irrelevant because they knew Joe Budden was barring Drake down. We all know Drake got exposed for ghostwriting. Nobody gave a everybody gave him an excuse. That's number 2. Number 3, T.I.'s homie done on Drake in a movie theater when he was drunk. 9 years, and that's just a few examples of Drake getting his L's basically pardoned from him in the world of hip hop. So now if we got Kendrick's fans and Pusha T fans that won't let up off of Drake, that's what the needs to happen, bro. I want to see constant Drake disrespect until 2030, at least. We got to get our time back. I'm not talking about you new haters that was bumping Drake 2 years ago. I'm talking about the long-term Drake haters that been hating on him for a decade because he's ruining hip-hop.
A louder question is being asked. Is the Drake era coming to an end? For some, his latest music feels predictable. The hunger that made him great seems dulled.
Hip-hop is from America. Hip-hop was birthed in the Bronx in New York. They never ever liked the idea of a Canadian middle-class brother being at the top of rap. That was never the script, bro, for hip-hop, right? And
No,
it never was.
No.
And the reason he got away with it for so long was because the product, no matter how you felt about Drake, was good.
100.
If someone is giving you the product, so it's in the clubs, bangers.
Yeah.
In your car, bangers. Whatever it happens to be, as long as the product is good, despite how we feel about you, whatever, the product's good. It doesn't matter whether you like me or not. The problem is the product started to slip.
Right.
And the last 3-4 years, he wasn't delivering the product that he was delivering in the past. The quality threshold of his music slipped. The quality threshold of his album slipped. He was giving us moments because he's Drake and he's that talented. But on the whole, it was slipping.
The essence of hip hop is being no rules, being full creative control, full creative expression. Now we have somebody who comes in here and wants to litigate hip hop. That is not hip hop. I've been saying this, he's not hip hop.
Yeah.
And Drake fans are not hip hop fans. They're Drake fans. They don't care about the essence of hip hop.
He has transcended hip hop.
Yes.
He's just Drake. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
Yes.
He's also the first person I ever seen feature himself on a song.
And then on top of that, you are getting older. And we can see you getting older because you've been around for ages. But we see you still trying to remain relevant with Gen Z and not come into that adult growth. And pair that with the fact that the music isn't even at the quality that it should be, people have no reason to stick around no more, bro, and back you, unfortunately. That's just what it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's what I've seen happen with Drake now. People have been wanting to get rid of him for time.
You guys, Drake's era of dominance is over. Stop the madness. He's on the downswing of his career, and it's obvious to everyone but the Drakesters who are currently clutching their pearls. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The fact that I love hating on Drake does not change the numbers. Drake's peak was like almost a decade ago. Views, Scorpion, 2016, 2018, that was his zenith. Views and Scorpion both did 11 billion streams and made him the #1 streaming artist in the country. In 2021, Certified Lover Boy did 6 billion streams, which, if you can count, is about half what he did before. But then comes a lower period. Honestly Nevermind did 2.6 billion, Her Loss did 3.7 billion, For All the Dogs, 3.5 billion. He went from doing around 10-11 billion to around 3 billion. That's a huge decline. He went from being the #1 streaming artist in the country to #4 or even #5. Drake remains huge, there's no doubt about that, but he is not nearly as huge as he used to be. And if you think he's just going to magically return to that, you're being really silly.
2018 was the last time that I listened to Drake, and that was when Scorpion was released. Now, Scorpion has some bops on it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm never gonna sit here and tell you that Drake doesn't make good music, because he has made some music that I absolutely loved. Music that I haven't listened to since because I can't bear to listen to his music anymore. And I was very upset that I stopped being a fan before the Certified Lover Boy era, because I remember that was a highly anticipated album. And I actually was very curious to hear what that album was sounding like. I thought for sure that was going to be his magnum opus. Certified Lover Boy. That is something that fully encapsulates what Drake thinks he is, the image that he's portrayed for years.
As an official Drake hater, I just want you guys to know that once these songs drop on the 14th, I don't want to hear that, oh my God, Drake is back shit. Let me tell y'all something. Kendrick already said we like Drake with the melodies. We like Drake when he's singing. When Drake is on here singing and swooning bitches, that's what we want to hear. But him coming over here acting tough, like he came from the same hood 21 came from, like he came from 6 Ward, like Future came from. When he started coming on here and start acting all of this tough guy, hard stuff, which we know he is not, that's the problem that Kendrick is having. That's the problem that the rest of us that are Drake haters are having. Don't come over here posing. You're from a good neighborhood. You grew up Jewish in Canada, bro. You didn't grow up in the hood, please. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear the melodies. We want to hear the Valentine song. So for all y'all creators that's coming on here like, yes, we can't wait for a Drake summer. We can't wait for a Drake singing summer. Singing summer. R&B summer. That's the only Drake we want to hear from. We don't want to hear 21 Savage Drake. We don't want to hear Future Drake because that's a fake. You're not from the hood like the rest of them dudes is. You're fucking from Toronto, from the suburbs, bro. Act like it.
Everybody has to be humbled in life. We all have hard days. How you handle it tells me everything about who you are as a man. So my thing is this, is that you thought you were bigger, and you're not, because none of us are. You ain't God, man. You took a loss. Take it like a man. Jay-Z, that's like Jay-Z suing Nas, or Nas suing Jay-Z because he said he f***ed his baby mama. Like, never. Right? Like, what are we talking about, man? This is man shit. This is war. You was in a war that you started, and you took a L. Sit down.
You got legendary hip hop figures who just give these guys passes.
Yeah.
Who don't say anything. Who don't say it's okay.
No dudes, nothing.
It's okay to say, yo, this dude is whack. I think he's whack. It's okay to say that. That's
Too much politics.
It's too much politics. You don't gotta act like you like something for
Too
what?
much gulping and burping.
Oh my God.
And for those that don't know what that means, sucking, you know.
They got it. They got it.
Some of the artists that you listen to and you encounter in your daily life are genuine artists, and some of the artists that you listen to and encounter in your daily life were chosen. Drake's response to this whole thing, this whole rap battle, all of it makes complete sense once you have the whole story. If you keep digging into this UMG thing, into everything that's going on between Drake and Kendrick, and it is important, it's important to everybody, because Kendrick has been on a mission from the start, the inception of him entering the industry. He has been on a mission, and it is to expose the industry. And we will see these truths coming out more and more and more, not just through the arts, but people speaking up. NDAs are going to be broken eventually. Like, we are going to see the truth. The truth is coming out. That is why we're seeing such dramatic actions from Donald Trump, from Drake, from people like that, is because the walls are closing in.
And to the people who are saying it's not that deep, it's not that deep, it's not that deep, do you know that if I were a dictator, you know you wouldn't be here? Do you know that it's not that deep, crowd, you would not be here? You're lucky you're not in that dictatorship, I'll tell you that for free.
I don't understand what Drake is going through. I think he's having an identity crisis, and the Iceman might really be a good album, but people are always going to look in and speculate and critique Drake because of how bad he handled this beef. Like, just how terrible. He could have just moved on and just kept making music. But the truth of the matter is that he still wants this attention. Y'all keep saying that Kendrick keeps responding or keeps talking about the beef. Drake keeps talking about it too. He keeps bringing it up as well. A guy who clearly said, hey, man, let's stop all this beef. Let's just go back to partying. And now in the next album rollout, he's back to talking shit about people. Come on, bro. That doesn't make any sense.
Come on, man. This is a very bad look, Drake. Yeah, with moves like this, you're proving they're not like us. You're pretty much showing you're not like everyone else, bro. In hip-hop, you don't go into suing, bro. Jesus Christ.
This isn't just about one artist. It's about hip-hop's soul. Drake represents a generation where rap became global, melodic, and emotionally open. But every era ends, and every king faces the moment where the culture decides if he still belongs. So, where does Drake's legacy go from here? Double down on what made him a superstar, or take the risk of reinventing himself to silence the haters? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure you're subscribed because we're breaking down every twist in this story as it happens. This is Pop Pulse. Stay locked in. Peace.